gentlemen will see the report. So far, we have over 244 correctional centers in the country, and combined, they all have a capacity to hold over 50,083 inmates. And we currently have over 78,629 inmates in the capacity that is to just hold over 50,000. And we've seen the House of Reps come out to lament over 20 something thousand, extra humans all in a space of that should just take 50,000. But generally, what do we make of this? Let's start with Mr. Sunday.
Again, you see, I do not, some of those institutions have not really been functioning properly. And I was surprised that the last Minister of Interior could come and change the name from prisons to correctional center. I would have preferred it to remain prison services, so that you know that when you are going, you are not going for punishment. There's no reformation, no nothing. Because even the name that they gave to the institution does not reflect the practices there. In terms of facilities, in terms of, I think last time, the last administration, the Minister of Information said they were feeding prisoners. He just gave a figure of how much they spent to feed a prisoner in a day. And if that information is right, then we will not have a problem with the prison system. But when you go there, because the facilities, the environment, the food and everything, they are out of this world. How to put them together. Then you not to talk about the crowded process, okay? Then you also now look at the laws guiding all the manners of detentions here and there, awaiting trials, people who have been dumped, a whole lot of. So as a lawmaker, they have a lot to do because it's not really a friendly, situation.
All right. So
yeah, you see, I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. I think, is it Denmark and Switzerland or so that their rates of crime there is even less than 0.05. Yeah, I think I read that thing about 2 or 3 weeks ago. That should be about 2 countries like that. And so interesting. Now, what I'm saying is this. That means in those countries, there are some specific things, enabling environment being designed that makes people not to commit crime, to the extent that they don't even think of building correctional centers. Even anybody that is being arrested and taken to their correctional centers, they see allow that person access to some developmental activities there. What I'm saying is this. One, if people that finish school or that have one trade or the other to do are being properly engaged, will they engage themselves in criminal activities? Well, I'm an holistic person. That's what I'm saying. Let me take it from another angle. But when you are not having these people there, then why thinking of that? Then you will now use your energy, you dissipate your energy on better things that will better the lives of the people. Now, when people who are supposed to be of school age are in school, will they be out taking drugs or doing all manners of kidnapping or derogatory and unacceptable behavioral pattern in the society? No. I read of a woman in Oshogbo whose children were very hungry for 2 days. She now took one of them to the market to go and buy gari. She got to the gari seller. The woman sold gari to her. Okay? According to the story. She now said, she forgot that money at home and she couldn't even. She now said, okay, you stay. That is a child. Stay. Let me carry this gari and then quickly go and bring money. The seller of the garri had seen the child staying now, and she left, and she never came back. Until later in the evening.
What about the child?
The later in the evening, no, she knew the child, they will bring her back now.
Oh.
This guy seller now went to the police station. Okay? They now asked that child to take them to the house. And they met the woman with other children. And she said they were hungry, nothing to do. She cannot steal. And that's why she did that. Have you also read the story of a boy in America that went to the supermarket to steal bread for the mother that was sick? The boy was apparently working in a car wash. Sacked, started begging for money. She couldn't get money. The guy was now taken to court. The guy now told the judge all that he had been facing. And they now asked everybody that you are the cause of this person's problem. Start donating money for him. And they started donating money for him. What I'm saying in essence is this. One, if our environment is conducive enough to give citizens the necessary developmental activities that will engage them, number one, crime rate will reduce. And when you have reduction in crime rates, the little facility available to deal with deterrence will be sufficient enough. Do you understand? To ensure that the behavioral pattern are being brought into conformity to the acceptable standard, norms and values of the society. All right? So National Assembly should think beyond those structures called correctional centers. They should also look beyond those policies as it's affecting correctional centers, but look at other policies that are also encouraging people to be deviant to rules and regulations of the society. So those things are being done. You're going to see that everything will work together, because either you like it or not, the hand that doesn't have anything to do is what the devil is always ready to use. So we have to ensure we provide enabling environment for people to grow. I have interviewed some miscreants on the road. I tell you, some of them are well educated. BSc mechanical engineering, BSc food technologist, microbiologist, but nothing to do. Their parents too know what to cater for them, and they have to survive. How do they survive?
All right. So one of the things, or one of the sectors that has been pointed or directed to having the cause of this overcrowding or congestion we're talking about is the current criminal justice system. And then from statistics, from my research, I saw that we have over 54,206 inmates awaiting trial, and we don't know how long these inmates have been. You know, for someone that has committed a crime that might just last for, let's say, maybe 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, you end up spending. We could. I'm sure we would get people.
Even ordinary remand. Even ordinary remand of 1 week. Maybe ordinary remand of 1 week.
You know, and they've also been an issue of some who their offense was just they were not good to pay their bail fee. You know, to bail themselves out on all of this. You know, and it has contributed to this overcrowding. So people that were supposed to, you know, serve their term and leave are all crowded in the same space with people that are to be there for way longer.
Even the police who don't have facility to take them to court again, and they be there.
So now the justice system has been dragged out into all of this. What do you have to say, Mr.
Yeah, I think they will need a comprehensive work to be done, from the police to the prison wardens, every one of them, the personnel. As the first instance, the police, for instance, you know, I had an experience at a time where my cousin, he had just a difference with a neighbor, and because the person, you know, has access to the police, you know, so they have to arrange. They went to court. They deliberately did not call up that case in court that day, and the next day was that he was taken to the curriculum.
See that?
Do you understand? So they have called me, so I have to get a lawyer who went to bail in the following day. So there are people like that will just dump there and nobody cares about them. The police will deliberately not call up that case for that day. Once the court closes, they will say, oh, that the next action is to take the person straight to prison. So there's instances like that. There are people who do not even have what I will come and speak for them.
Goes down to the justice system.
So that is one point again. Again, you also look at, because I still disagree with this correctional center. It's not a correctional center. You know, the
person will come out now to become a hardened criminal.
Yeah, you know, I had a friend he told me how he went to UK. Because of paper, he was detained. While in detention, he was in and out, according to him. And when they took him to court, when he pretended he didn't understand English, they got a lawyer that could speak Yoruba, he said, Yoruba, I'm sorry to say. All right? That would understand Yoruba to stand for him. So, yes, understand. So, and by the time he was coming out and coming back to Nigeria, from his allowance, he said he was able to make some money before he could come back to Nigeria. He instead now requested to be deported back home. Okay? Do you have such facility in Nigeria? It's zero. Then what is the budget? Because that's the under Minister of Interior. How do you the budget of that sector?
I think which is why this whole decongestion thing is coming up.
Because
they are spending a lot on, we're talking about 78,000 people.
Yes.
So they are spending a whole lot.
But what about the negligence of the people? Is it a government that cannot take care of the... Hold on, is it a government that cannot take care of the one that is so a criminal on the street, that will not go and take care of the one that is in detention?
And that's exactly what I was saying the other time. It is cheaper. It is cheaper for us to ensure a criminal-free...
That's a long way because
but then 1,000 miles journey start with a step.
Yeah, we are dealing with Nigeria is in a critical situation as well.
Yeah.
Right now.
You see,
no matter how conducive that environment is, they will still be criminals.
Sure.
And those who are naturally criminality.
But then,
how you provide for them?
Okay, look at that your cousin you spoke about. Naturally, he isn't a criminal. But for him to have been taken to Kirikiri, he might be inducted into criminality from that place. Do you believe that? Right. So what I'm saying is, it is cheaper for any society to bring in institutions, to create an environment that will reduce criminal activities than to not be fighting criminals. Okay. I don't know whether you understand. And that's why I said, you see, I always like discussions like this. Those in the National Assembly, they are just there because some people had submitted their sovereignty to them. Not that they are custodians of knowledge. They can still learn from this kind of a discourse. All right? They should look beyond the congesting that place. I'm not saying they shouldn't look at that, but they should look beyond it. Okay, what is it that have been happening within Nigeria that is now making some that are not supposed to be criminals to be criminals? Do you understand? Go out in the morning, you see everybody guys drinking paraga in the morning, rustling away at newspaper stands. Why? Because nothing to do. But they are ready to do something. But where do they get it? I have seen somebody who made money and started the frozen food business. Before you know it, the line there collapsed. No more lines. Price of petrol jumped up. Where will they do it? So will it not survive? It will survive. So those are issues that need to be taken good care of for us to get out of this mess.
All right. So I think Mr. Sunday, you have something to still say.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the lawmakers, they should also go beyond the crowdiness of the detention cells and look at the reform process. How are they being handled? Sometimes they treat us, they send us to stories that, oh, we have those who are learning carpenters, we have those who wrote WAEC from detention, who passed WAEC, who made credit, we have those who wrote JAM from detention and all that. So we still need to see how this can be refined and let them be practical. If you read the history, if you follow the process of the global political economy, in the ancient time, criminals in Europe were being taken to Australia. Yeah. They dumped them there, they call it Manima, the land of evil. Yeah. Go there now. Those
look.
the people control the country. The indigenous have been pushed to the hinterland. So those that the 10 criminals are now in charge of the country.
They're in charge. And they're doing nicely.
So it's not that one is a criminal. Maybe a pressure would have pushed into that or whatever. Then if you send it to a reform center, let that person be truly reformed and not come out to be a worse citizen.
All right. Okay. So I think Mr. Dai was saying something about instead of looking towards the congestion matter, why don't you look at what we
preventing
do
crime.
to stop them from...
That's why I said presently Nigeria is in a critical situation. That's a long run policy.
Okay.
It's germane. But we're not talking of the immediate. Look at the one now. It's not when you survive you think about the president is telling us he's doing this policy because of the future. Must we die in the present before we get to the future?
It's exactly what I'm saying. The immediate to resolve it. Why are people hungry? Why are people hungry? Because hunger can push you to participate in criminal activities like kidnapping.
So people are into criminal activities because they are hungry.
They are not
When you are hungry and you are properly hungry, my hunger now, the hunger I'm perceiving now is different from the hunger some other people are perceiving under the bridge.
They don't have money.
They don't even know where they are. I know now, if I leave this place and I'm too hungry, I can run to your chairman. I will run to your chairman and say, oh God, just should have been waiting there now. Do you understand? I can run to my friend. I can run somewhere. But those that are underneath the bridge, those that are university graduates, those that are even secondary school graduates, that they have nobody to run to, what do you think they will do? And I'm saying the immediate thing we need to do now, one, reduce the pump price of petroleum. When you reduce it, food will be cheaper. Are you with me? Food will be cheaper. Electricity will be cheaper. Then that means Moriamo that is doing hairdressing at the corner shop can always, you yourself, your salary, you will have more disposable income to make better hair, so that the one that will belong reach in this place, when I buy now one, Moriamo there, will be able to make more money. Do you understand? Then when somebody that likes to trek, say he's doing exercise, but he doesn't have money for transport to, will not be able to enter down for, then that one will have more money to buy another tire, which will also affect Samuel that is selling tire at first gate. You see the chain. So the moment you do that, you will see that there will be a little bit of sanity. And when there is sanity, a little bit of sanity, then we can now think further. Okay, that is one. Two, agric. This agric of a thing, 2 days ago, I just snapped that thing. I will have shown you the bunch of banana I brought out from my backyard. Do you get? I went to look for cement sack, about 15. I've put sand inside. I will now put here. It doesn't cost me anything. It will just be there. In another 8 months, I'll be having at least 8 to 10 tubers of yam. So agric, we must encourage. It is people that are eating that be able to think of that. When you are not eating, you won't have energy to do it. You won't be able to think aright. Let also children be able to go to school. It is when children are in school that their parents will not have rest of mind to think of better things to do for the society. But when the children are at home, they cannot eat, they can't go to school, they can't go to hospital. Do you think those parents will be happy? No. So these are little things that need to be put in place for us to move forward in the short run. Then in the long run, we can now start looking at building strong institutions rather than strong men.
Okay, so speaking of these inmates, right, that we've been talking about, and we've established the fact that, okay, hunger, a hungry man, you go out and you do things to just survive. But let's not forget that in this same prison, we have kidnappers, we have terrorists, yes, we have ritualists, these are people that at some point, I won't say it's hunger, because for a kidnapper who collects over $1 million plus ransom for, you know, and all of that. So at some point, okay,
we are missing.
Okay, doesn't agree with me.
No,
so I mean,
hold on.
So we look at it from that angle as well. Yes, we have criminals. I could call them petty criminals, but we also have those criminals that
you have VIPs.
You know, thank you. Okay, we have VIPs.
And yeah, no, you know how we'll be doing research on this. We have VIPs who are in prison, and it's like they're in the free world.
Yeah.
They get access to everything that they want on daily basis as long as they can pay.
Okay.
You get it, you have access to telephone, if you need a wife to come, or you want to go and meet all those, a whole lot of things going on. So the VIPs, they don't even suffer as long as they belong to the elite. You know, they have the fund to pay, they get what, so it's not like they're even in prison cell. So it's just the poor that will continue to be suppressed and to be punished, even when it's under punishment.
Okay.
You increase the punishment.
So I'm talking
the
about
kidnappers. That's what I want to talk about. The kidnappers that are taking ransom.
Yes.
Imagine this: somebody who has been coming to you to even beg for small money to buy pap and akara to eat. Incidentally, because he's a thug and all that, one baba somewhere now sent him to House of Assembly. He now has money. Now oppressing you, oppressing other people that they have been riding Okada bicycle together. What do you think they will do to him when they are hungry?
You know,
they will kidnap him. They will kidnap the children. Go and check out what I'm saying. What I'm saying. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, see, don't let us even go to the genesis of these terrorists that we have. Because if not, I will take you to what Baraje said in 2014. I will take you to what Baraje said. I will take you to what even Rufai said when he went to settle some people in Chad. You remember? I will also take you to what was said in 2014 that if power is not given to some people, you'll be picking bags and whatever of this. And I will also take you to what Mileti Allah said when they said they will speed beans, when there was a squabble between them and Lai Mohammed. If you want me to take you to all that, I will take you. Do you understand? But I don't want us to go through that route. Rather, treat what is just here quietly and then leave it that way. The issue is, when you look at those people that are kidnappers, there are others. Okay, how do you put this? A child that feigned, a child and a mother feigned the kidnap of a child to take ransom of about 3 million. How about that? A pastor, I will mention the state, that also feigned his own kidnap for ransom.
You also have people that
even students that feign their kidnap to take ransom. What do we call that? Yes, there are some. Those people that you see carrying gun, abduction. Yes, let us separate abduction from kidnapping. They are two different things.
Yeah, I think classifying the inmates at this stage is secondary. Okay. All right, the lawmakers must do a very extensive work in what they are doing. If they don't have enough information, they should suspend the proceeding and go and conduct research. Now, if there are laws that are not practicable, they should now review those laws. For instance, there are judgments that sentence people to death. You take Ifeanyi, for instance, Reverend King, for instance. The governor didn't sign it. Now, why should you make a law of death sentence and you cannot sign it? You cannot sign it. So why does such law exist? So they have to look into all these things. If there are laws that are not practicable, they should just lead them and let's move on. They should also look at the recruitment process into the prison service. So that it is the time of you are saying you are recruiting school droppers into the prison has passed. Society has become so complex. So you need people who are also intelligent, who are well educated, who can understand the dynamics, of managing these people and the processes to come in. So I think they have a very good.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen.